While Ghana is enjoying its pinnacle of power, several states in the Sudan are emerging. These states had patriarchs or a council of elders leading them. They had a base of power, whose people were of the same or similar ethnic and language backgrounds, and they also enjoyed dominion over outside communities. They drew income from conquest, deriving tribute, taxes, and military support from these conquered peoples. The rulers of these states were believed to be sacred, and when the kings of Ghana, for example, converted to Islam, they used it to reinforce the ideas of kingship, making it more of a royal cult rather than universal religion. Most of the population never converted, and the rulers who did used traditional powers to strengthen their rule. Nevertheless, the rulers would also build mosques, attend prayer, and support preachers in return for sermons who instructed the faithful to be supportive of their kings. Mali would be the model of these Islamic kingdoms. The Mali Empire, which was located between the Senegal and Niger rivers, was created in the 13th century by the Malinke people who broke away from Ghana. Mali's expansion began under the leadership of Sundiata. The oral historians who advised him called him the Lion Prince. After a difficult childhood, Sundiata will emerge from fighting between families and regional powers to create the Mali Empire. While away, he made alliances with local rulers, gained a reputation for courage, and assembled an army dominated by cavalry. By 1235, he consolidated his hold on the Mali Empire. He became the Mansa, or emperor, and created the social arrangements for his empire. For example, under him, 16 clans would have the right to bear arms. 5 would be dedicated to religious duties, and another 4 would be skilled laborers. He built garrisons to protect commerce, an important aspect to his empire's economy. He dies in 1260, and his successors actually expand the borders of Mali almost to the Atlantic Ocean. From the 13th to the 15th century, Mali controlled and taxed trade passing through West Africa. Enormous caravans linked Mali to North Africa. Mali had access to the gold-producing regions to the south. This control of trade supplemented Mali's agriculturally based economy. The rulers of Mali honored Islam and provided protection, lodging, and comforts for Muslim merchants. They encouraged its spread on a voluntary basis. The significance of trade in Islam for West Africa became the clearest during the reign of Sundiata's grandnephew Mansa Musa, during the high point of the empire. Mansa Musa even observed the Islamic tradition of making a pilgrimage to Mecca in 1324 to 1325. His party formed a caravan that included thousands of soldiers, attendants, subjects, slaves, as well as hundreds of camels carrying satchels of gold. He bestowed lavish gifts on those who hosted him along the way, and during his visit to Cairo, he distributed so much gold that the metal's value actually declined by 25% on local markets. He brought back with him an architect who would eventually develop the distinctive Sudanic architectural style. Mansa Musa drew great inspiration from his pilgrimage, and he took his religion even more seriously than before. He built mosques and sent promising students to study with Islamic scholars in North Africa. He established religious schools and brought in teachers, including 4 descendants of Muhammad himself. Within a century of Mansa Musa's reign, Mali was in decline. Factions crippled the government, provinces seceded from the empire, and military pressures came both from neighboring kingdoms and nomads. By the late 15th century, the Songhai Empire had overcome Mali.